Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sammy Ketchum, and welcome back to Sammy Ketchum TCG. All right, guys, this is our second Battle Styles content video that we are doing, and we are doing it on Rapid Strike Urshifu Vmax. That's right, Rapid Style Urshifu Vmax. All right. So we are going to talk about Rapid Strike. I really think Rapid Strike is very good as well. I mean, honestly, my favorite is Single Strike, but Rapid Strike is not too shabby either. This deck is kind of more, how do I say it? More technical, it's more suited for like the long game per se. I honestly, I don't know how to explain it, but it has it takes a different way and a very different approach in getting prizes than Single Strike. You basically try to get your prizes through spreading damage. So through spreading damage by putting lots of damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon throughout the game can get you prizes or multiple prizes, you know, if you do it right. And I'm going to show you how this deck is going to do that today. All right. Oh yeah. Also, before I jump into this, it's the same as the Rapid Strike deck. I've seen the Japanese list. I've gotten So I've seen the Japanese list. Shout outs to Celio's Network and Omnipoke for showing those lists and also their own list and stuff that they've been working on. So I've been basically basing my stuff from the Japanese and their list, and I've been working on this and playtesting against Single Strike, and yeah, so I came up with my own list, you know, and I think these are very, very solid. So we are going to jump into this. I love this music, man. I really love this music. All right. We have ourselves not three copies, a line of 3/3 Urshifu Vmax. All right. We're going to talk about the Single Strike Urshifu, not Single Strike, Rapid Strike Urshifu Vmax. All right. It also has 220 HP, not Vmax, but the V. All right. Its first attack, what is it? Bump it what it's called. But its first attack for 1 energy, it does 30 damage. And then you can switch this Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. So this basically goes back to your bench. Alright? So, and this is good because, well, you kind of want to just get in and get out, attack them, and go back to the bench. And we're going to tell you why you want to do that when we get to the VMAX. But its second attack for 150. Just a solid 150, 2 energies, 2 fighting energies, and 1 colorless, single 150. Alright? And then we have Urshifu VMAX, Rapid Strike. Alright? This is the Rapid Strike. Alright? And they've already shown the English scans for this, so it's in English. Alright? 330 HP. Its first attack, Gale Thrust. Gale Thrust. That thrusting, baby. And what the first attack does for 1 energy is that if it came from the bench, this turn, so if you, if it, Yeah, if you put it in the active spot from your bench during this turn, it can do 120 more damage. So it already does 30 base, and then you do 120 more. That's 150 damage. Now that is really, really solid, really solid. If your opponent's Pokemon is weak to fighting, you can capitalize on that. 150 turns into 300 damage. So that easily one-shots a Pikarom. Easily one-shots a Raichu. 300 damage basically hits, well, any weak Pokemon that's weak to fighting. You can boss's orders them up, things like that. And the reason why this would come from the bench is because if you did this attack before and send it to the bench, then you come from the bench and hit it with the Gale Thrust. Alright? Now, the second attack, which is Gmax Rapid Flow. Gmax Rapid Flow. For two fighting and 1 colorless energy. You basically discard all energy attached to this Pokemon, just like the single strike. But what this does is that you do 120 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. So this basically splits 240 between 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. So maybe 120 to the active, 120 to the bench. Or what you could do is you could do something like boss's orders. Bring up one of their fighting weak Pokemon, knock them out, and then do 120 to the bench. Or you could do 120 to 2 Pokemon and knock out 2 of their support Pokemon. Yes, this can knock out support Pokemon. So you sit there, okay, I'm going to knock out your support Pokemon. Alright? If they have 90 HP, if they have 120 HP, anything under 120 or 120 HP, you knock it out. Alright? So I think this is very, very good. Like a very good tactic that you could take. You know? Spreading damage. This is the way of the rapid flow. We're getting into the flow, baby. We have ourselves a 2-2 line of artillery. Alright. What this artillery does is that once during your turn, you can search your deck for a Rapid Strike card. Any Rapid Strike card and add it to your hand. You can only use 1 artillery per turn. So, the reason why we have 2-2 is because you only need 1 on the bench. You only want 1 on the bench because you can only use 1 a turn. So, you can go get your Rapid Strike energy with this. You could go get the Rapid Strike Scroll, Rapid Strike Stadium, any Rapid Strike Pokemon with the Rapid Strike logo. So yeah, any Rapid Strike card you can get. We're not going to talk about artillery. We're not going to really use artillery like that. Into the support Pokemon. 2 copies of the Dedenne GX. When you're playing from your hand, discard your hand, draw 6. So, more draw power. Just like the other deck, I like playing 2. I like playing 2. I just like the consistency of having 2. 1 copy of Crobat V. Alright? When you're playing from your hand, draw up to 6 cards. One copy of Elder Gloss V. when you're playing from your hand, get a supporter back from your discard pile. This music is awesome, man. One copy of Jirachi GX. It's for that psychic weakness, the ability. It gets rid of your psychic weakness. Things like Mew 3 can't target it for weakness. So good support Pokemon for this deck. This deck also plays 2 copies of Jirachi. The list that I've seen, they don't have Jirachi in here. They have, some of them have the other Jirachi, the Amazing Rare Jirachi, that only searches 2 cards. Some lists have the, I think it's the Celebi or something. I think it's the Celebi that lets you, its ability lets you search for a energy card and add it to your hand. I just like Jirachi. Jirachi so you can get supporters, items, things to your hand to basically get things going for your turn. Get switches, get scoop up nets, get your scroll. If you don't have a supporter in your hand, help you get your supporter. Then he goes to sleep. But you've got the basic package in here. You know, you got your switches and scoop up nets in here that you could basically use to get them out of the active spot and get your ball rolling. Let's do it like this. Four copies of Professor's Research. Discard your hand and draw 7. Best draw supporter in the game. Three copies of Marnie. You and your opponent shuffle your hands. Then put your hand under the bottom of the deck. Then look at the top, well, you look at the top 5 cards, add them to your hand. Your opponent basically gets 4 cards off the top of their deck and adds them to their hand. So, a little bit of disruption. Actually, let's do this. There we go. This deck has 2 copies of Boss's Orders. I could go 3, but I'm going 2 here, and I think I have 1 great catcher in here. So, but 2 copies of Boss's Orders. Bring up one of your opponent's Pokemon from their bench to their active spot. Basically says you can get little key knockouts with that, or you could bring up something to kind of stall and maybe do damage to something on the bench. With this, that's what you could do, because you could like. You could bring something up that they can't retreat with, and then hit both your, then hit 2 things on the bench for like 120. Or you could do like 30 spread with the scroll, and kind of like mitigate things like that. Two copies of one of the new cards from Battle Styles, Cheryl. Alright, what this does is that you can heal all damage from one of your Pokemon. Alright, but if you do, you discard all energy attached to them. Now, with Urshifu Vmax, with the attack, you basically already discard all your energies. So if you heal them, you won't be discarding anything. Alright. The reason why this works in here instead of the single strike is because with the single strike deck you want to take damage and you want to keep your damage on you because of the scroll. This deck, you know, basically focuses on, hey, I'm going to keep spreading damage. I'm going to keep spreading damage and I'm going to keep damaging you and spreading while I heal my Pokemon, heal the damage off myself, and keep going. So they're going to try to keep going to outlast you while they're spreading damage. So that's what this deck is focusing on. All right? That rapid flow. Four copies of Quick Ball. Discard your hand and not discard your hand. Discard a card from your hand. Insert your deck for a basic Pokemon added to your hand. Four copies of Pokemon Communication. Swap a Pokemon from your hand for one in your deck. So it's a swap. Get one from your deck, put one in your hand back into your deck. Helps you get out your Urshifu Vmaxes and your Octilleries. Three copies of Scoop Up Net. This is to help you scoop up net your Jirachis. One thing that I don't have in here is that I don't have a Zigzagoon in here. Now, honestly, I like the Zigzagoon because you could like you could get little, you know, a little bit more damage on your on your opponent's Pokemon. But I was just like, I honestly, we're gonna be spreading enough. We're gonna be spreading enough. You know, I just want to use these to pick up their Jirachis. You know, but I mean later on I may find a way to put the Zigzagoon in here. But other than that, I'm really just shooting for consistency so I can just pick up the Jirachis with the Scoop Up Nets. Also with this deck, I'm doing the 2-2 split of Escape Rope and Switch. Switch your active with one of your bench Pokemon. Escape Rope, you and your opponent switch Pokemon out, but your opponent switches first. All right. So there's that. So yeah, the war point is really, really good in switching out your Pokemon. Also, it also really works well with the Gale Thrust, the thrusting, because you know you bring them from the bench and you could do more damage. So it really works well with this deck. You know, you can pick off Pokemon like that. You can, you know, get your strategy going, spread more damage. You know, use your strategy to spread damage more that way. 2 copies of Reset Stamp. All right, this deck plays Reset Stamps. This deck strategy, when your opponent knocks out a big Pokemon or they go down to 3 to 2 prizes or something like that, you Reset Stamp them, and you stamp them. Will really put them in a spot So this deck really likes to come from behind and stick your opponent with that stamp. You stamp them, and then you can spread the damage and take crucial knockouts like that and put your opponent in a bind that they can't get out of. When you stamp them to 3, 2, 1, it's very good. One copy of the single strike scroll. Not single strike scroll, the rapid strike scroll, excuse me. Alright. What this does is for 1 fighting energy and 2 colorless energy. Is that you can spread 30 damage to all of your opponent's Pokemon. So you can spread 30 damage to all of your opponent's Pokemon. I really like this because you sit there and you spread first. Alright? Spread 30 damage to everybody. Okay? And then if you do this maybe once or twice, then come in with the Gmax Rapid Flow and do 120 to 2 of your opponent's choice Pokemon. You could basically really get key knockouts. So you can knock out things like the Denays and Crobats on the bench for like 4 prizes. You know. Or you can knock out support Pokemon. You know. But doing 120 twice, to 2 choice Pokemon is like 240 damage. Yeah, 240 damage. If you do Gmax Rapid Flow twice. You know. Plus the 30 spread is, you know, even more, 270. So, you know, this is very, very, it's a very good card. You know, but we just have 1 in here. We also have a karate belt. Yeah, karate belt. It makes your fighting Pokemon's attacks 1 fighting energy less. So his first attack will be free. And then the second attack will be just a fighting and a colorless on the rapid flow, which is very, very good. So you can attack sooner. This goes really good with the reset stamp after they've knocked you out and you're still and they still have less prizes than you, or you have more prizes than them. Then you sit there, attach this, and then you can basically, you know, attack sooner than later and get your game plan rolling. The 1 copy of Great Catcher. This is why we're playing 2 boss. And the reason why, another reason why I went down on the 2 reason why I went down on the boss's orders is I do have Eldergloss in here that could get back something. So there's that. So I got a copy of Great Catcher to bring up things like the Dene, Pikarom, things like that, ADPs. So yeah. Last but not least, we have the Rapid Strike Stadium. The Rapid Strike Stadium. And what this does is that it gives your Rapid Strike Pokemon, makes their energy cost to retreat 2 less. So his retreat cost is 2. So since his retreat cost is 2, he can retreat for free. And what you do is you retreat for free and then play a switch, bring him back out, and then you can do the Gale Thrust. So this basically can set up the Gale Thrust. Let's see, let's put that here. Whew. All right. 4 copies of the Rapid Strike Energy. Now, what's neat about this Rapid Strike Energy is that it's a double energy. So it's 2 energy. But you put it on your Rapid Strike Pokemon, and it counts as a fighting and a water type. Oh God. it, it counts as a fighting and a water energy. So that's really good. You know, you can get them powered up in 2 turns. Two stone energy. All right. Your opponent's attacks do 20 less damage. So this could help him stay alive a little bit longer. To capture energy. All right. When you attach it to your Pokemon, search your deck for a basic Pokemon, put it on your bench. Very good for getting out your basics. And we have ourselves 2 basic fighting energy. So I really, really like this deck. Really, really like this deck. You know, it's very, very streamlined, very pretty much consistent. I may take this out and put in the 30 boxes orders. I may put in a Zigzagoon. Most of the decks that I've seen have played things like Empoleon. And honestly, I don't like Empoleon right now. I really do not like Empoleon from the new set right now. It basically, what the Empoleon does is that the Empoleon, can basically shut off basic Pokemon's abilities, except for Pokemon with rule boxes in their name. Rule boxes being GX Pokemon, V Pokemon, and Prism Stars. So there's still GX Pokemon. There's still GX Pokemon and Prism Pokemon in the format. So with them still being in the format, with them still being in the format, with those Pokemon still being in the format and being able to get off their abilities, there's no way you can really stop them. I mean, you could stop little things like Jirachi, Absol, the Jirachi Amazing Rare. I mean, little stuff like that. You could stop the Bench Barrier Mew, things like that. But it's like little fringe stuff here and there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, honestly, I just think it's too little stuff. It's too little stuff. Like, you know, it's not. You know, it's not enough that you could actually warrant it right now. Maybe when we rotate, when all the sets rotate in August, maybe Empoleon will become a little bit better. When we just have V Pokemon and things like that, stopping abilities, because right now you're not going to stop too much. So I didn't want to dedicate a space to Empoleon. So there's that. Other than that, you know, I really like this deck. So if you like it, take a screenshot of it. You know, try it out. I'll give you guys a little moment to do that. You know, if you want to do that. Listen to this cool music. All right. So there's that. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. And as always, make sure you take care of yourself and each other. Thank you.